today we have Mark Uhlich. No,
Uhlich.
Uhlich. It's a German last name, right?
Yes,
it's
yes.
a German last name, Uhlich, but it's spelled U-H-L-I-C-H. And Mark is an amazing chef. And I met Mark a couple of Christmases ago through some friends of mine, and found out that he is not just an amazing chef, but a giftedly amazing chef. He did our company Christmas party, and our theme was Christmas around the world. And he created foods from all 7 continents. And so it was a 7-course meal that started with some appetizers and moved all around the world and ended with dessert in the United States, right?
Antarctica.
Yeah, that's right. And good memory. So we were super impressed, and it was really fun too for the team and the staff, because we had a little contest to see if you could figure out which continent we were eating from. And so I think it was Kevin Knox that won the game, of course, Mr. Kevin.
He had to match the food and then the wine with the region.
Yes, and so it was an amazing experience. And so then when we had our spring company luau, he did a whole
piglet, yeah. Smoked it.
And it was a beautiful display and delicious, but I think the most popular part was the coconut shrimp.
I think so too.
Yeah, they were huge.
Those didn't last.
Just, I know, amazing coconut shrimp. And I think Tom Bronson had to leave and go get his son from the airport, and then they all came back because he was bragging up the coconut shrimp.
Yes, we had stashed some upstairs for Rob for later, and he had to break into his stash because the others were gone.
Yes. So then, to my surprise, and a happy surprise, I found out that Mark was actually in charge of the food and catering for my son's wedding. And so you guys have all seen pictures on Facebook and seen pictures online, and it was an incredible wedding. It was whimsical, beautiful, but just perfect at the same time. And so today Mark is going to show us a couple of things that were my favorites, and some of the guest favorites, and then some of the other stuff you might have to just hire Mark to do a chef experience in your kitchen so that you can get a taste of his really good foods. So what are we going to start with?
We're going to start off doing the olive dip that we did for the wedding. I'm going to start off, I've already got some going, but we're going to start off with the crostini.
Okay.
Basically, I've taken a baguette and I'm slicing it on an angle, about ½ inch thick.
Now this is a new word for me, baguette.
Baguette.
Mark, when we were getting and shopping for the ingredients, he says garlic, wait, what was it? No, Parmesan cheese baguette. And they didn't have commas. And so, because I didn't know what a baguette was, I was like, what's Parmesan cheese baguette? And so then when I went over to the bakery, there it was, baguette. So is that a French word? What is that?
I believe it's French.
I mean, it sounds French. So just, does that mean bread?
It's just a type of loaf. I mean, there's all kinds of different
Okay.
styles of loaves. And what I've got going here is I've chopped up about 8 cloves of garlic, got olive oil, just going to bring it up to a simmer.
Okay. It is a crazy stove.
And basically, once it comes to a simmer, we're going to put it on. We're going to do the bread a couple different ways. We're going to do one the way I like to do it, and then I'm going to show you more of a traditional way as far as Italians like to do it. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and start with the olives.
Okay.
What I've done is taken the olives. I like to rinse the olives to get some of the excess brine off of them. I've already done quite a few, put them in the bowl. I'm just going to do a few more here.
So these are Greek olives.
These are Kalamata olives. I buy them pitted. This is one less thing you have to do.
Yeah. And olives, you know, I'm addicted to research on the phytonutrient thing. Olives have 2 really awesome phytonutrients in it. One, hydroxy something, and the other one, ole something pien. You know, they can't make it, you know, easy for us, can they? But the cool thing is the olive phytonutrients that you can find in the olive, and it's multiple olives, not just the, you know, this Greek olive, but also the olive oil is an anti-inflammatory.
Pit.
One pit is an anti-inflammatory, and also and it has tons of antioxidants. And so some of the research that they were doing on olives, they found in rats, which, you know, that's who we do our research on. They actually were increasing in bone mass. So, you know, it helps with, you know, diseases and prevention of diseases like osteoporosis, bone mass. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my olive oil has just come to a simmer.
Okay.
I'm just going to remove it from the heat. And just taking a basting brush.
Joker's fancy. I like that.
And just brushing this olive oil. Try to get a few of those cloves of garlic on there as well. Go ahead and get out salt.
Oh, my fancy salt. So this is Himalayan salt that I like to use, but there's a lot of hype on.
That'll work fine.
Yeah, and then here's my pepper.
More, and I'll leave the rest. These I've already cooked for about 15 minutes on a low heat, about 300,
okay,
just to dry them out, get them about halfway. So now I'm going to put the olive oil on, and I'm going to pop them into a 325 oven.
Okay.
Put a little salt on there.
All right. Just turn it upside down.
Oh, it's
It
on
works
there.
by itself, I know.
I was ready to crank it. And then these are going to go back in the oven
Okay.
for about 10 minutes or so.
You're only the second person to use the oven. That's awesome. I've only used it once.
All right, so I chopped up my olives. I've got about 3 packages of olives that I've chopped. I'm going to do a few more of the artichoke hearts. I like to buy them quartered and just in water. Just give them a quick rinse.
Nice.
And then we'll chop these up.
You know, I did not look up anything about artichokes, but I'm sure it's Mother Nature put it here for a reason.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And if you have the time to use fresh artichokes, that's even better. These are just real handy and real fast to chop up. Okay.
Okay.
Now what I've done, taken some fresh mozzarella. This particular one comes already sliced. And then I just break it down into cubes.
Your wife must be like ecstatic that. Do you cook a lot at home?
I do all the cooking. Well, I should say all the cooking. I do the majority of it.
I mean, she must love it.
And I've got more mozzarella that I've already chopped up. Put it in.
Nice.
Well, with 3 kids, it's not always glamorous, the cooking at home.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to do something on the fly. But I do, when I have time, to try to do things as nicely as I can. Now what I've done, I've got some grape tomatoes that I have just quartered and then diced. We're going to add those.
So this is actually a super cool dip because it's going to be amazing. I mean, everything you make is. But you've got tomatoes, you've got olives. Both have phytonutrients that fight cancer. Both have phytonutrients that fight have antioxidants that fight the oxidative stress and are anti-inflammatories. So boom, double whammy. Medicine in a bowl right there.
Try to use as many fresh ingredients as possible. All right, now what I'm going to do, I'm taking my basil and I'm going to do a chiffonade, which is just a fancy term for taking your basil leaves, rolling them up, and then I'm just going to slice it nice and thin.
That's nice.
Yeah, I just like to sometimes cut it down the middle just to make them a little smaller.
I love the smell.
The fresh basil is
Oh my
amazing. It's
gosh.
probably one of my favorite herbs.
Oh my gosh, like I'm this far away and it just, the smell is incredible.
And that's the nice thing about this dish is you have so many different things going on. So when you eat it, you get these nice chunks and you're getting different flavors. With every time you chew, you taste a little something different. So it's not just like one big goulash where everything tastes exactly the same.
Right.
And then the last thing I'm going to do, put some capers in. And once again, I like to rinse these just to get some of the brine off of them, because that brine's going to carry over regardless. But this just gets rid of some of the excess.
What is brine?
It's just kind of a salty water.
Oh, okay, okay.
Drop those in.
Okay.
And I mean, as you can see, all this is very little cooking. This is extremely simple. A little bit of chopping, and it just throws together real nice, real quickly. And at this point, we're ready to make the dressing.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do for that, it's real simple. Just a little bit of mayonnaise. And
I was telling Mark that the mayonnaise that I got at Publix, okay, is I got it in the green rice section. It's a canola mayonnaise, and you know, which a lot of mayonnaises are made with canola, but this particular one in the green rice section was all natural ingredients. It didn't have that big long list of preservatives and you know, it says gluten-free. Well, they're like, well, yeah, mayonnaise should be gluten-free, but a lot of times when they put stabilizers and fillers in them, those fillers are the things that have some of the stuff that we don't digest well. So this one happens to be a very natural mayonnaise. Now, I've never had it before, so we'll see how it turns out.
It's amazing how many hidden ingredients there are in all the foods that you find in the market. Really important to look at the ingredients list. And
the longer the list, the further you should run.
Yeah, I mean, especially when it's stuff that you don't even know what it is.
And you can't, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing goes when we were talking about our beefs and our meats. You know, what they feed the cows, and then what we are ingesting, and then what happens to our health over time.
Definitely. It's been shown that grass-fed beef actually is higher in omega-3 as opposed to corn-fed beef, which is higher in omega-6, which is more of an inflammatory.
There, yeah. A spoon.
I'm learning my way around this kitchen.
Oh, no, yeah, no.
What I've done here, basically taken a little bit of mayonnaise. It's a very simple dressing, a little bit of honey for sweetness, and then I've added in some red wine vinegar just to give it some tang, and then I'm just going to taste it.
Good.
See if it's where I like it. And actually, I do like it. And just taste it yourself. I mean, everyone's going to prefer a little more vinegar, maybe a little more sweetness. You know, just cook to your taste. The main thing about cooking is the biggest hurdle is just to get over being afraid to do it. It's extremely simple, and just a little trial and error taste, cook to your own taste. And this is just a little something to help bring it all together.
Nice.
Doesn't require very much. And
so did you have a name for this? Because I'm calling it olive dip.
yeah, I mean,
but the's so much more than an
call
olive
it more
dip.
like a bruschetta, or you know,
okay.
There's a lot going on. I don't have an actual name for it, to be honest. I just sometimes cook and just try to combine flavors, try to create balance between, you know, sweetness and acidity.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Okay. Let me check on the bread.
Alrighty.
Should we get close?
Nice. Feeling good?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
Bring them out. Now, there's two different ways you can do it. Obviously, we've done one with the olive oil and the garlic. And the way the Italians like to do it is to take a garlic clove, and get a nice sized one in here. All right. And because we've dried out the bread, it's nice and rough. Now let's take a garlic clove and just scrape it right over the top.
I'm going to try that.
If the abrasiveness actually breaks off little pieces of garlic, the oil gets onto the bread.
Okay, so you just scrape it on.
Exactly. Yeah, nothing to it.
Should it get all over, or am I?
Yeah, just as much as you want.
Okay, so well, that's up to you.
Yeah, no, that's
Okay,
good. That's great.
I'm doing. Whoops. You could go too hard. Too hard.
That was one of the ones that one of the softer ones because it wasn't in the oven
well,
as
I'm
well.
also one of those people that breaks their pencil lead like every 15 minutes because I go too hard.
And do we have a dish?
Hard. Okay. Okay. Oh, yep. I'll grab one.
Dish up a couple.
Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Two of each.
And garlic, another anti-inflammatory. So you
Garlic's fantastic
I know.
for you.
Jeez. You know, and that's the cool thing too. If we just start realizing that this, to me, even though, like, you know, we say this isn't fancy, this isn't a lot of what, to me, this is beautiful. It is kind of, you know, on the fancy side, and it looks, you know, gorgeous.
That beautiful color.
Yeah, but it's unbelievably good for you.
Sloppy plating.
Oh, that's okay. No, I mean that's kind of what we were talking about, is being able to cook and not feel intimidated and not feel like everything has to be about presentation.
Exactly. You could take just 2 or 3 great ingredients and just put them together, and you'll make something fantastic. Really, most cooking is about as good as the quality of the ingredients that you're using. It doesn't take a lot of fancy ingredients to make something fantastic.
That's a really good point. So, okay, now the big thing that was a hit at the wedding, okay, because it was unusual.
Yes,
but is you made a Caesar salad.
Yes.
Inside an ice cream cone. So the cool thing about the way Allie and Zach planned for this wedding when it came to the food was they first of all created this amazing backyard.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I know, this haven.
Backyard living room.
Right. It was like this huge backyard living room with all these different types of living spaces. And so it warranted for everyone just to be able to socialize and walk around. It wasn't this sit-down dinner to where you're only talking to the people that you're sitting at the table with until it's time to get up. All the foods were, I don't want to say finger foods because we're not really like that, but it was
hors d'oeuvres, probably a good way to describe
handheld,
it.
but it was still hearty hors d'oeuvres. You know what I mean? You were full when you were done.
Nobody went home hungry.
No, they did not. And so everything could be eaten, holding it in your hand, walking around and socializing. Well, so he started off first with, so help me, correct me if I messed up. When I got there, the olive spread.
Yeah, we started off with the olives spread. We had a nice cheese platter and
hummus. Yeah.
The hummus, yes, with
Yeah.
roasted red pepper sauce on top.
So you had that to start with, and then the next was the Caesar salads came out, right? And these came out, and they were gorgeous. You see a picture at the intro of the show, but you just pick it up, and I think some people were a little confused about what they do with it. And so the funny one was my friend Kim. You know, she's looking at it like, okay, how am I supposed to get the salad out of it? You know, and I'm like, you just eat it. And so as soon as she takes a bite, takes a bite of the ice cream cone and the salad at the same time, she's like, oh my gosh, it's the crouton.
Yeah, that was just something I came up with because Allie was wanting to have most of it be finger foods where you could walk around with a napkin, and it's always nice to have a salad out there. And I was just trying to figure out a way to turn a salad into finger food, and I just thought to myself if I could find unsweetened, wafer cones, and I just turn them into basically a crouton.
And who did you say, Keebler?
Keebler has some, but I mean, just look once again. Just read the ingredients, and look for wafer cones that have the absence of sugar. Some might have a hint of it. The main thing is you don't want them to taste sweet because you want to have the savory of the garlic as a crouton.
Yeah.
And basically, we're going to do the same thing. Do you have another sheet pan?
I do.
We're going to use the same olive oil and garlic that we use to make the crostinis.
What about a stone?
That'll work.
What about a
That
stone?
works great.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm just going to baste these on the inside. Don't be afraid to get a little garlic in there. And on the outside.
Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering.
Try to do just the top on the outside so that you can hold it without getting your hands overly greasy.
Okay.
Because once you do the inside, all that garlic flavor goes all the way down to the bottom immediately.
Okay.
So you're going to get the flavor of the garlic down to the bottom. And then just right around the outside.
So yeah, so then when the Epiphany, you could hear it around the wedding. Oh wow, it's like a crouton. You know, it's just like reverberating on different sides of the whole space of people discovering that you eat the whole thing. I thought it was.
I had a lot of people coming back and asking me about that, and it was kind of neat to see the reaction of people. Was, you know, when you kind of come up with something you think's a kind of a neat idea, and then to see people really enjoy it was a lot of fun. I think we'll just do these four for the sake of time.
Okay.
And then the next step is, if I can work your fancy.
You just turn it upside down.
Just.
Yeah. Isn't that
great? A little bit of salt. Yeah, it is neat.
I got that for Christmas.
It looks like I'm putting a lot of salt on here, but I'm not, and a lot of it will fall off. And
I've said before, that particular dispenser, it comes out so fine.
It is,
really
yeah.
not putting a lot of salt on.
All right.
Okay. So then that goes in the oven.
Can you get the door for me?
Yeah.
So these don't roll off. And those are going to go in there for just about 10 minutes or so, just to kind of crisp them up.
Okay.
And cook the olive. And so now what we're going to do is, yes, I need a bowl.
Okay.
Clear bowl if you've got one.
How big, you think?
Just enough to make a little salad.
All right.
We don't have to make a lot. We only have a couple cones.
This isn't, it's big, but it's
That'll
wide.
be fine. Just enough to toss.
Okay. So I bought organic hearts of, what did I buy?
Romaine.
Romaine. Now, is there a certain kind of lettuce, certain kind of that you like?
Romaine is traditionally your Caesar salad lettuce. A Caesar salad is basically romaine lettuce, your Caesar salad dressing, crouton, and Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
I'm just going to chop this up fine because remember it's got to go into the cones, so you don't want your lettuce too thick. And what we have today is a store-bought Caesar salad dressing. I have a homemade Caesar salad dressing that I made for the wedding and do normally, but I didn't know I was doing this today.
Yeah, I know. I surprised him with this, but I got a lot of asks and messages.
And that's fine.
Hey, let's do that. This particular dressing, though, is a Caesar dressing from Bullhouse Farms, and it is a yogurt-style Caesar dressing. So it has some good ingredients in it, and it's pretty flavorful. But yes, I agree that your dressing is.
I think the trick to Caesar salad, and most salads, is to just be careful not to overdress.
Yeah.
I find that in restaurants. I mean, I'm sure you're like me. You ask for the dressing on the side.
Yep.
Because it's just they drown it.
Mm-hmm. Especially Caesar, it's a powerful dressing. That Parmesan cheese is a very powerful cheese.
And it's got a nice light coating on there. All right, I think we're going to pull those cones out of the oven now.
Awesome. You need help? I love my stone, but I'm not sure circular food works.
Yeah, there's no lid.
Yeah, circular food doesn't necessarily.
All right.
Okay.
And now you would let these cool for a little bit, but for the sake of time, we're going to just dive right in there.
Okay. So what would you put it in with, tongs? Or does it matter?
Use your extremely clean hands.
Okay, all right.
The dexterity of the fingers makes it a lot easier.
Well,
because you want to push it down in there.
Well, like I say about my hair, even though, My friend Osman does not like it when I touch my hair. I wore, as you can see, I wore a headband today. When it's somebody else's food, I would be a lot more. But
Well,
right?
when we were catering, we were wearing gloves.
Yep, I noticed that. I noticed that.
So, all right. And then basically,
Okay.
what I've done.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It's sticky.
I've just taken the same Parmesan cheese that I used to finish off the dip that I grated. I just took a peeler and just made shaves of it, of which we are going to place right on top.
I know that sounds crazy, but that was like one of my favorite parts.
You know,
It's a little art.
shaved Parmesan presents very nicely. And that is all there is to
All
it.
right, I have to do one
Okay, I'll try one with you.
now. Yeah. Oh, cheers. Isn't that cool? You're a genius. I love it. Mm-hmm. Now, yeah, you know what? I like what you did for the Around the World party, but I like this one. I don't know. This one's cool.
Well, the cone's nice and thin. It's easy to eat.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't make it full.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah, because, if you want to be able to try all the foods, this doesn't fill you up so fast like bread could,
Exactly.
Mm.
We got to try these as well.
Okay.
I just finished these off with a little shaved Parmesan.
Oh, okay.
Not shaved,
But
grated.
they grated. All right, so. Oh my God. So good.
Hope that's how you remembered it.
Exactly. I didn't realize I was such a fan of this olive. How do you say it again?
Kalamata.
I did, and
That's one of my favorites.
I absolutely love it. I love when I get a Greek salad. It has really good. I always just call them black olives, but no, these are different than black olives. These are.
Yeah, they have a lot of flavor to them.
And so,
Fantastic.
but when I was researching about these olives, it's a Mediterranean a delicacy. And when you look at the diet of the Mediterraneans and the research about their health and their culture, they don't have osteoporosis the same way we do. They don't have the same bone issues, and researchers are attributing that to the diet they have. Because these olives are on every table over there.
And this is such a nice, fresh dish. You have a lot of different flavors going on. Basil and tomato, it's hard to find a better pairing than that. And then the capers bring some floral notes to it, which are quite nice.
I have to agree. Every bite, too, is different.
Yeah, by not chopping everything up super fine, it allows the ingredients to kind of dance around in your mouth and hit your palate in different places.
Good
so that's really a nice experience. So you're actually really tasting the ingredients instead of everything just being, meshed together.
And the freshness. And no, it didn't take that long. You cut up a few things, and I noticed when you were mixing, you mixed gently, and that probably keeps it from mashing up too.
Yeah, I just kind of folded it all together using the spatula, and especially when you get the dressing in there, you just want to just kind of fold it in, and just let just a slight bit on everything, just kind of brings everything together.
So good. Thank you so much, Mark.
My pleasure.
For
Thank
sharing
you for
your
having
gift and your talent. So join us next time on Brookfield's Backyard when we meet with the Juicy Juice guys, Jay, who's going to teach us the difference between juicing, blending, and smoothies, and the benefits of all three, but the true differences between all three. So we hope you enjoyed our episode. See you next time.